What's up guys, welcome back to another video on Pure Panorama. Today I have my trusty notebook. We're gonna talk about how much money is into this truck right here with everything that you see on it. So I figured this would be a good video to kind of give you a ballpark figure as to how expensive truck builds really can be. Now keep in mind, the stuff that you're about to hear from me is nothing. As you know, there's truck builds at SEMA that are hundreds of thousands of dollars into them. Just Greg Albarella alone with the stuff he's got going on in his trucks and stuff is through the roof, man. This stuff is crazy, and obviously, you know, he's blessed with the opportunity to work with sponsors and companies to give him a hand and help with costs of parts and things like that. If you are doing this all on your own and you don't have things like that and you are shelling this out of your own pocket, this stuff gets expensive quickly and it adds up rapidly. Nonetheless, let's jump into this and start going over things because this could be a little bit lengthy. Let's go, let's do it. For starters, we're gonna go over the cost of the truck in general. I paid $10,500 for this truck when I bought it, and I at the time thought for a truck that was up north and in as good a shape as it was up north that was reasonable. I talked the guy down considerably from what he was originally asking and figured that I probably wouldn't find a truck that was in this good a shape unless I really just sat around and looked a lot longer. So we ended up going with this one, and you guys have all seen the frame and the underside of this. As you can see, we still got good old paint on the frame and stuff. Yeah, there's a little bit of orange poking out on the leaf springs and up here on the frame, but that is that's the extent of it. Otherwise, this thing is pretty immaculate for being a northern truck. As you can see, like the rear axle and stuff, at least you can still see all the bolt heads and stuff around the differential. That stuff is not all rusted and rounded off and crap. So the truck really is in pretty darn good shape. There's another shot down there of the frame and underside of the cab and all that. So for $10,500, I figured it was reasonable, and honestly it was pretty decent for the average going price of these trucks. They are selling for that are in far worse condition than mine, and mine is like mint condition compared to a lot of the trucks that are selling for around that price range here in New York. So the XD 800, the XD series Misfit wheels, those are 18 by 9s. Those are gonna run you about $800 or so, depending on where you find them, where you purchase them from. They are pretty dirty still, and we need to finish getting them cleaned up and waxed for the summer. In some of the older videos, you would have seen these wrapped in a 35 by 12.5 Cooper STT tire. Now they are currently wrapped in a 275/65/18 Goodyear Duratrack tire. The tires on here right now, I'm going with the current tires. They were $1,200 plus $60 to mount and balance them at an aftermarket shop that sells wheels and tires, so that I knew that they wouldn't ding up the wheels and all that. So I actually got a pretty good deal on the mounting and balance. They usually charge $125 per wheel, but they slipped up and told me the wrong price, and then I held them to it. So you got $800 and then $1,260 into the tires that are on the wheels. So down underneath we have the Fass Platinum 150, and I do need to change this filter here at 242,000. You can see I wrote that on there with a Sharpie to remind me of when this needs to come off and get swapped. So the Fass Platinum 150 is about around $600 or so, depending on, again, where you get them from, and I don't even think that you can get them anymore. So now you'd be looking at a Fass Titanium, and depending on what size you get, whether it's like 95, 150, 165, I can't even think of all the sizes that they come in that they flow gallons per hour. You're looking anywhere from like high 500s up into $700 range for one of those lift pumps. Here's the thing, a lift pump is, again, a necessity on one of these 24 valves or any of these Cummins trucks, any diesel truck really. You're gonna benefit from having a good aftermarket lift pump on there. And then the other thing we're gonna go over here in a second, the gauges. So if you do have one of these 98.5 to 02 24 valve Cummins, you want the lift pump and the gauges first so that you can monitor and get yourself some sufficient fuel flow before you start looking at getting the mods and all that stuff done. We do have the glowshift gauges with the boost, the pyro, and the fuel pressure. Those were about 280 bucks with after I paid for the 1-day shipping to get them here quicker. With the pod, they came with everything I needed. So we have those installed in the truck. We also have the Edge comp box, which is about $600 or $725 if you get the hot unlock. And the hot unlock basically just gives you another level of tuning or performance here, and basically adds a little bit more horsepower and torque to the tunes on the box. Miscellaneous LED lights and stuff that are in the cab and things like that, I didn't really count that into the overall thing because it's just little piddly stuff. I more or less want to go over some of the bigger things and repairs and stuff that I've got into the truck, just so you can get a good idea of what it costs to maintain and do things to your truck, just so you guys have somewhat of an idea. It's kind of hard to see and a little dirty. Let's see if we can wipe this off a little bit so you can read it. So we do have a 4-inch Silverline exhaust from the turbo back. On here it is straight piped. I'll show you. We got no muffler at all on there, as you can see right there. That would be where a muffler would go, but we don't have one. This little girl is just breathing. Thinking about upgrading the exhaust again and doing something different with it. You guys will have to wait and see what I'm talking about. But for the 4-inch Silverline on this truck is about 500 bucks. If you were to get a stainless Silverline, you're looking at about $900. Underneath the hood, I have done a new radiator. We also did a new water pump down in there and a new thermostat. So for all that stuff with the coolant and everything, you are looking at about 400 bucks is what I paid from the store I got everything from. We're running a big honkin' air filter on here until we purchase a new cold air intake to use with the new turbo, which we'll get into in a second. So the big honkin' air filter was about 50 bucks. I think I got at Napa for. So we also have 125 horsepower diesel auto power injectors in the 24 valve Cummins. Those I did get on sale and they were about 360, I think originally like 400 bucks. If we look up under here, we do have a BD noise isolator, which was $30, and it taps into a wire down here on your firewall and basically helps with shuttle shift with the torque converter and helping to keep the transmission shifting smooth due to noise interference from your alternator here. So we do have that installed on the truck, and yes, it does make a difference. Maybe one day here, if we are in good shape and things are going all right, we can look at swapping out the intercooler on this thing, because this just looks like it has seen better days. The fins are bent on it and stuff, so I would like to get that taken care of and swapped out. We do have a new master cylinder that we need to get put on the truck here at some point soon. That was about, I think, 75 bucks or so. Got it from Napa. As you know, we just did all the tie rods and center drag link, did the sway bar end links, and we do have new ball joints and track bar. We're not gonna do the track bar, we're gonna do an aftermarket track bar, but we do have all the tie rods and sway bar end links all installed on the truck, so that helped out tremendously. Still need to get the new steering stabilizer, but all those parts there were about a couple $100. I got them all in a kit online. We have also done U-joints in the rear drive shaft here. We do have a new center support carrier bearing that we need to take care of and get done here at some point. U-joints were about 65, carrier bearing was about 20, so you're looking about 85 bucks just for that. And I'm basically now going over some maintenance stuff. Like I said, want to give you an idea of maintenance and other parts that just make it look better or go faster, so you get an idea of everything in general. We do have aux beam F16 LED headlights installed in there. Those were 50 bucks. And we also have aux beam 4-inch LED pods here, so those were $35. And then we got these amber covers to put over them, and those ran me, I think, like just $6 or something on Amazon. And then $10 for a wiring harness with a toggle switch here, a rocker switch, and the switch does actually light up and glow. It does say fog lights on it right there. We got the HX35 turbo in the garage here still, that we have a rebuild kit too that I did order for it because I was going to rebuild it, and I have been talking or have talked to Turbo Lab of America about just machining it out and doing the rebuild for me. So we're just figuring that out right now as far as what to do with this thing. But I did pick up this turbo from a guy about an hour and 20 minutes away from me. I got it off of him for $200 and then $60 for the rebuild, so you got $260 so far into that. If we send this thing out to Turbo Lab of America, we are looking at probably around another $600 or so to have him do all the work to it and machine it out, which really isn't all that bad compared to buying one of these turbos from an aftermarket place like Fleece for one of their Cheetahs. You're going to be spending about $1,900 on it, and it's the same turbo with the same machine work and stuff done. Different parts used on it and stuff, but basically going to be the same thing. So as you can see, about $800 into it, or $1,800 if you were to buy one from Fleece, and you're basically going to have the same turbo. I would much rather go the route that I'm going because you're saving about $1,000 on it. I do have Bilstein 5100 series shocks in there, and those are about $360 for all four corners. I also did have some Gabriel max control shocks that we tried out in the rear end when the 35s were still on here. Those were another $120 just for the pair for the rear end, because I wasn't liking how the truck was riding with the 35s, and I didn't know if I changed up the shocks a little bit, if it would make any type of a difference on it, but really it didn't make much of a difference at all. We got about $200, $205 or so into miscellaneous shop stuff, just getting the heat fixed on it this past November because it wasn't blowing heat due to a loose fuse that I did not find, having the tires rotated and stuff. The last time it was down at the shop on April 13th when he told me about all the other stuff that he would rather do to the truck instead of the things that I requested him to do that I knew needed to be fixed, because he was trying to get paid and not just take care of what I wanted done at that particular time. And also we had to have the alignment done when I went and repaired all that stuff that he tried to upsell me on so that he could get a bigger payday. I did all that work myself as far as the tie rods and stuff. We still need to take care of the ball joints, but we did do the tie rods and everything. And of course I had to have the truck aligned after that, and I will have to have it aligned again after we go and do the ball joints and a few other things to the front end. We did plasti dip the bumper and the front grille and the rear bumper, and that's about $50 in materials to get all that stuff done. And we also do have LED reverse lights in the truck. You're looking at another $20. You can get those LED reverse lights and light bulbs on Amazon all day for a fair, reasonable price. The tow mirrors, yes, I know you guys all hate it when they are flipped up and there's no trailer attached to it, but these things are just a cheaper set, $130, and quite honestly, I don't even know if they will fold back down at this point. I would probably have to work some magic on them to get them to fold back down. We are going to be looking at doing a 4th gen set on the truck, so you can look forward to that, but those are $130, just cheap set of tow mirrors that I threw on the truck just so that I could haul one of the trailers at work. But maybe in one of these videos coming up, we will see if we can't get those things to fold down. I honestly haven't tried it in quite a while, but it does take quite a bit of effort to even fold them into the door so that they don't get taken off if you're parked on the side of the road. I did install a new climate control switch because my old one, the heated mirror button was not working and it wasn't turning on the mirrors to heat up and defrost or anything. So we did do a new one of those. I actually just bought that off a dude on eBay for $30, and I did a new blower motor resistor down there, and probably am actually going to do a new blower motor going into the fall season as well, so that we can take care of that. There's one other thing too with the blend door actuator down there that we are going to try to look at before summer is over, so that we can hopefully maybe try to get a little bit better heat out of this old girl next winter. But the blower motor resistor, I believe, I can't even remember, but I want to say it was like $15 or so from Napa. So I think we are done underneath the hood. I don't think there's anything else that I have in here currently. As you can see, there's our EGT gauge into our exhaust manifold. We have our boost right there with the boostable adapter, and down there we have our fuel pressure with our snubber valve and all that right to the VP44. The Cummins badge on the grill was like $20 or so. I think I got it from a store. One of the guys on eBay has a store, and you can get badges for your Cummins, whatever, man. He makes them all and does that. So we did get that. I think, like I said, 20 bucks. We do have the smoked cab lights up there, about 80 bucks for those. And then the LED lights to put in them, you're looking about another 10, 15 bucks to do that. So we do have white LED lights in those smoked cab lights. We've also done front and rear brakes on this old girl, and I think it was about $275 or so for all the stuff that I did. I did not do new calipers, but I think we are going to be doing new calipers here down the road. But we did do new drums and shoes, new hardware for the rear and stuff. And then on the front, we did rotors and pads. So about $275 for all that stuff. Tinted windows, you're looking another couple $100 to do that, to get all of them done around the truck with the brow on the front. We do have the brow. And like I said in one of the last videos, I've honestly been thinking of taking the tint off of these front side windows here and maybe going with a little bit of a lighter tint and then tinting the whole windshield. And guys, there's still probably some other things that I have not even remembered and have slipped my mind. Like back over the winter, I had to order a couple filters for the Fass Platinum 150. Swap one of those out. I got a 2-pack of those for like 35 bucks, Donaldson filters. We still have to do the injection pump. I got to order an injection pump for this thing and get that taken care of. Still have to figure out the turbo deal with Turbo Lab of America, sending it to them, or what I'm going to do with the rebuild kit that I've already ordered for the thing. So there's still a whole lot of other stuff to come with this thing, and by no means is the total done climbing yet. But so far, with everything that I've told you guys, and not counting anything that we haven't done obviously, but everything that I've just gone over with this truck, you're looking at about $17,556 into a 17-year-old truck, guys. Is that worth it? Is it worth it to you? It's really like, at what point do you draw the line? But this is how I get to work. This is how I make my money, and obviously I want my vehicle to be nice and it needs to be in good condition so that it's safe on the roads. And that's just the thing, man. Vehicles can be expensive to maintain, and then if you want to add some other things to them, some other flair to have them looking different and looking better, to personalize them and make them your own, it really does add up and total up quickly. So I hope that gives you guys a little bit of an idea of what it can cost to maintain and just build a truck, because it is not cheap. It does get expensive and gets expensive quickly. Obviously with like maintenance type parts and stuff like that, once you do it, you don't have to worry about it again for quite a while. If you're buying a used vehicle and stuff, that's the thing, you don't know when the last time things were maintained was, so you're probably most likely gonna have to do that stuff, and it's gonna cost you right then and there. But once it's done for a while, and then you know the history of it and you can maintain it properly from there on out. So obviously there's plenty of ways to go about doing things like that with your truck, and there's many different places to get parts from with different price ranges and stuff. So you guys got to just do your shopping, come up with the best price that fits your budget. That's what I've been doing. That's why things are taking some time with this thing. We're not building this show truck here, so we obviously don't need to throw thousands and thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars into it. So we do want to be budget friendly, and you guys can do that too. I hope you guys liked that video. If you did, leave a like on your way out. Hit that subscribe button if you're stopping in for the first time, new to the channel. There's plenty of stuff to come with my 2001 24 valve Cummins. Like I said, I think I listed off a couple things in the video. HX35 turbo still, injection pump, whole bunch of other crap, ball joints, all that stuff still got to get done. So like, subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace. I just wanna